poor young thing has the heart for
death of an infant. The body of an IUP student will be exhumed as the investigation into his death continues. And if you rely on the Cambria County Transit Authority, your fares may soon be going up. The news is next.
What would I do without you?
New Dad's Low-Ash Kitten Food gives kittens everything they need to grow strong in those first months of life.
You're my best friend. Dad! What would I do without you?
Show your dog how much you care with a delicious Dad's Bone, the premium dog biscuit.
You're my best friend. Dad!
In the dark about payment plans?
Come to Wolf's and let us enlighten you. Wolf's offers you low monthly payments on a wide variety of quality brand-name furniture, carpet, appliances, and electronics.
No matter what your budget, Wolf's exclusive in-house financing has a payment plan to suit your needs. And Wolf's offers $1,500 instant credit to qualified buyers. So apply today.
Beauty and affordability from our family to yours since 1902. Wolf's, helping you bring it home.
They had high hopes. They had high hopes.
Every week, an average of 25,000 people like you win the Pennsylvania Lottery's Wild Card Lotto with 6 ways to win, lots of prizes, and jackpots of $1 million or more.
Look, there goes another winner. Look, there goes another
Wild Card Lotto. The next winner could be you.
Another winner.
You're watching WJAC TV, Johnstown. This is News Center 6 Early Edition with Gary Gunter, Michael Ann Wolf, Tim Rigby with sports, and Steve Richard with AccuWeather.
The parents and grandmother of a 3-month-old Johnstown baby are in the Cambria County Jail tonight, charged with his murder. Medical experts say the baby starved to death as a result of weeks, possibly months, of neglect. Good evening and thanks for joining us. After 3 hours of testimony at a coroner's inquest today, it took a panel of jurors less than 20 minutes to issue its recommendation.
All 3 family members will be charged in that baby's death. Lisa McElhenney reports.
When Bobby Wilson's body was autopsied last Monday, his stomach was empty and his small intestine filled only with air.
A child of 3 months should have full, fat cheeks. This child's cheeks was thin and shrunken. His eyes were shrunken. In other words, he had no fat or tissues in his face.
Bobby's pediatrician says when he was examined at 3 weeks old, despite some normal problems, he appeaed healthy. Yet at the time of his death, he'd gained less than a pound.
This could not have happened over several days. This would have to have taken at least weeks for that degree of wasting, a loss of fat.
But Bobby's father, Robert Wilson, and grandmother, Evelyn Wilson, say they never noticed any unusual changes in the child's weight. They say the baby was fed regularly every 4 hours. Despite Robert's precise accounts of feedings the night before his son's death, the grandmother says Bobby's mother didn't always wake up every 4 hours to feed the child. And while the mother, Phyllis Weiland, chose not to testify, a statement she made to police the day after her son's death said she only fed Bobby 2 ounces of formula twice a day because the Wilsons were confiscating her welfare and WIC checks. She also said the pair refused to let her seek help for the child. The night before Bobby died, Weiland allegedly told police she awakened 6 times to find Robert Wilson in the next room, screaming at the baby and shaking him violently. She said he had threatened the baby several times before, saying, "I brought you into this world. I can take you out." The family is jailed without bond, awaiting a preliminary hearing next week. Lisa McElhenney, News Center 6, Johnstown.
The State Police Crime Lab has been called in to investigate the death of a Cambria County woman, the body of 28-year-old Susan Devine, found last night in her home in Franklin. The coroner's office conducted an autopsy, which was inconclusive. Franklin police are investigating. They previously had complaints from Devine that she was being harassed. We'll have more on this tonight at 11. The body of an IUP student who died 3 years ago will be exhumed next week from a Pittsburgh area cemetery. Jack Davis Jr. was found dead at the bottom of a stairwell on the IUP campus several days after he was reported missing in October of 1987. A coroner's report concluded he had passed out and choked to death on his own vomit after a drinking party. But authorities agreed to reopen the case last month after an independent investigation suggested the death may not have been an accident. Investigators will examine the body to determine if Davis had any head injuries.
4 people required hospital treatment today after being overcome by fumes from a chemical spill at a Brookville tire stop. Emergency crews say the chemical orthodichlorobenzene was found dripping from the truck at the truck stop at about 8 this morning. When 2 emergency workers and 2 truck stop employees opened the truck, they suffered headaches and burning eyes. Emergency crews were on the scene for 9 hours, cleaning up the spill and making sure no other drums containing the chemical were leaking. Cambria County's hazmat team was called out to clean up a diesel fuel spill after an overnight accident on Route 219 in the northern part of the county. A truck lost about 150 gallons of fuel in a crash near Garmentown. The truck driver, a Carbon County man, is in satisfactory condition at Miners Hospital. The Cambria County Transit Authority says it's been handling increased costs by itself for years and now expects the county, local communities, and possibly the riders themselves to help. Included in the authority's new budget is a 6% increase in the cost municipalities will pay for bus service next year. For communities like Johnstown, that means an additional $1,500. The county is also asked to double its funding to nearly $400,000, an amount authority officials feel is only fair.
1985. Increases to the municipalities was in 1982. The rate of inflation has increased by 26%. We have received no additional dollars from the county of Cambria since 1982. They've given us $180,000 every year for the last 8 years. It's ridiculous.
Jenkins says he's also recommending a 25-cent fare increase, along with possible cuts in service. A public hearing on those items has been set for January. Coming up, some area hospitals announced plans to work together for the treatment of cancer patients.
We'll look at what schools are doing to stop the rising number of teenage suicides. And we'll take you inside the operating room at Johnstown's Memorial Hospital, where doctors will soon be performing open heart surgery.
Sheets. That's not just the name of a convenience store. That's our family name. And the Sheets family takes an active role in providing the best products and services for our customers. That's why we take a lot of time perfecting a new product. Because before we offer it to you, we want it to be right. And this is right.
It begins with lean cuts of fresh, not frozen meat.
Cheese is made from fresh whole milk.
Breads that are oven fresh.
And we put them all together to bring you the freshest, tastiest made-to-order subs and deli sandwiches anywhere.
They're brand new at Sheets.
And they're different.
Because they're made the way you like them.
So come on in and watch us make them fresh.
Hundreds and hundreds of delicious combinations.
And all the toppings are free.
And all made to order, just for you.
We call it MTO because it's made to order for you, any way you like it. And it's delicious, or we wouldn't put our name on it.
Good people.
Good food.
And always convenient.
Sheets.
Legend has it that Hamilton Carhart was attacked by a big old grizzly back in '89. Lucky for him, he was wearing his Carhartt overalls. Those sharp old bear claws couldn't penetrate that Carhartt material. Now, Hamilton was always bragging about how tough his Carhartts were. And if you asked me, I expect he provoked that bear just to prove it.
Available at these Carhartt retailers. Introducing this week's starting lineup of great Red Ring special flavors.
Rum raisin.
But hurry to your local store. The lineup's going fast.
The Laurel Highlands Cancer Program announced today a plan to link several hospitals in the region to provide better treatment to cancer patients. Blaine Lester, the director of the program, says Windber Hospital and the Regional Hospice Program at Windber is the first to join this new outreach.
Over the years, we're hoping is really going to...
But the benefits, more specifically, are the closer communication with local cancer experts. We've had some communication in the past, but this program will enable us to develop basically an ongoing communication with the local cancer experts. It also allows identification with Windber with a regional cancer program. And that means that we will be able to provide up-to-date national and international information regarding cancer care.
Johnstown's Memorial and Lee hospitals have been working with the program for years. All the other hospitals in the greater Johnstown area are now being asked to join.
There's a new report out today on the performance of hospitals in northwestern Pennsylvania. The Hospital Effectiveness Report was prepared by the Pennsylvania Healthcare Cost Containment Council. The council gathered information over a 3-month period. This regional report includes statistics for Clearfield Hospital and Du Bois Hospital's Regional Medical Center. The report calculates how many patients were treated at each hospital, the average length of their stay, how many people died while hospitalized, and the measure of a patient's responsiveness to treatment. The cost of the average stay was also calculated. Some libraries have copies of the report. The Health Council says the survey can help consumers when choosing a hospital, but a decision shouldn't be based solely on the study. It's a first for Johnstown. Open heart surgery has come to Conemaugh Valley Memorial Hospital.
As Sari Pador reports, they're ready to run.
John Doe is at Conemaugh Valley Memorial Hospital for open heart surgery. This team of doctors, nurses, and technicians will soon provide that operation. Today they're going through a dry run. And this is the man that will lead Memorial's new heart surgery program, Dr. Jacob Kolf. Kolf, who started a similar program at Temple University, says a program like this is a necessity in Johnstown.
By starting an open heart surgical program here in Johnstown, the patients with heart disease that in the past would have to be shipped out can now stay here, both for diagnostic and therapeutic catheterization, as well as potential surgery.
In order to prepare the heart surgery team, Kolf brought some staff to Johnstown. Others already working at the hospital were sent to train in Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and at Temple University.
They're up to par, they're very anxious to start, and then after a while they'll continue to learn with more and more experience.
Kolf expects to do about 300 surgeries the first year. He says that's a good number to keep a cardiac team busy and experienced. The first surgery in the new unit will be sometime this month. Sari Pador, News Center 6, Johnstown.
Diabetes may at times be a silent but deadly condition. Diabetes occurs when sugar accumulates in the blood instead of being used by the cells in the body. The Cambria-Somerset Council for Education of Health Professionals held a seminar today on diabetes and its effects. If left untreated, diabetes can be deadly.
50% of the people that have diabetes have no idea they have it, and most of those people do not have symptoms. So symptoms are not a good indication. You read on all the newspapers and the ADA brochures that the symptoms of diabetes, and people feel they don't have it. They don't have diabetes, but it's much like hypertension. There really are very little symptoms of hypertension, so that's the problem as I see it.
Diabetes can also lead to blindness and heart disease. Everin suggests an annual blood sugar test to try and prevent the disease.
Steve, it's really starting to feel like winter.
Yeah, well, and it's going to feel more like winter before it starts feeling like anything else, because as we head into the weekend and early next week, no improvement. As a matter of fact, we've got some rain, maybe mixed with a little snow as we head into the weekend. Not very warm around here today, a brisk day. We did see some sunshine mixed with the clouds, but we also saw flurries overnight last night and scattered around the area today. Not so much in the way of accumulations here. There were reports of coatings and coverings on the ground here and there, but southern and southwest New York State had 1 to 3 inches on the ground early this morning, so we didn't get the worst of it, but heading into the weekend, we may see some more flurries. In Johnstown today, high temperatures not all that warm. The best we could do for a high was 39 degrees. Last night's low was 30. Normals today, high of 51 and a low of 34. Records for today's date, 75 the high in 1916, 20 the record low in 1960. Present reading stands at a cold 32 degrees, relative humidity 73%, the barometer 30.24 inches of mercury, and winds out of the northwest now at about 6 miles an hour. Pennsylvania does not have any precipitation for us to show you tonight. We have an area of high pressure moving across the state, and that's clearing out the skies, and it's going to make for a rather cold night. Clear skies, radiational cooling, the winds lightening up, falling into the low 20s around much of the area. You can see temperatures now around the freezing mark or just slightly above. In some areas, particularly the outlying areas, falling perhaps into the upper teens for lows tonight. Cloud cover in the northeast breaking up for the time being. As mentioned, we'll see the clear skies tonight. Maybe a little sunshine early tomorrow, but don't count on it. Look at this mass of clouds running from Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, into Kentucky and Tennessee, pushing off towards Georgia, and a lot of this represents a big area of moisture. Some of that is going to filter to the north. Most of the cloud cover will. So a cloudy day coming up tomorrow, perhaps some rain arriving as well. Right now, high pressure controlling keeps us dry tonight, but here's this low in Texas, works its way to the east. It looks as though it's going to ride along through the Gulf Coast states. Outside chance it could come a bit farther to the north. We could really see some enhanced areas of rain tomorrow then and tomorrow night. We don't think that's going to happen. We do expect some rain to move into the picture. You see this little tongue of rain that's going to be sliding eastward. Probably arriving tomorrow afternoon, continuing through tomorrow evening. Best bet somewhere around a quarter to perhaps maybe a half inch of rain through that period. But tomorrow night with the cold air around, very marginal conditions, maybe some snowflakes mixed into the higher elevations as well. Then a couple of fronts swing across the area, reinforcing the chilly air that we're already in. So into the weekend, cold air will continue to just hang right over Pennsylvania, maybe even some flurries again before the weekend is over. Expected weather tomorrow, well, you can see the rain pushing close to Pennsylvania. We expect some rain in here by tomorrow afternoon. Meanwhile, in the western states where they had the snow earlier in the week, they'll see some sunshine and warmer temperatures. But we'll be back with our local AccuWeather forecast right after this.
I'm a little past the stage of needing a big car to make some kind of statement, but I do like a big car ride.
Meet the 1991 Buick Century. So contemporary, it fits the 90s perfectly. Century, great looks, super gas mileage, all the quality that Buick is becoming famous for.
It's really nice to see this kind of quality in an American product again.
Cashbacks are waiting for you now. If you're a qualified mature buyer, you may get better cash bonuses. See your Buick Connection for details now.
At U.S. Bank, we do the little things better. That's why we've introduced Value Plus, a unique package of essential banking services, value-packed with special discounts and savings. Value Plus also protects almost anything you buy with a U.S. bank check against loss, theft, or damage, and doubles most manufacturers' warranties. Value Plus from U.S. Bank. There's no other account like it because no other bank offers so much value.
2 + 2 means performance for you, and you'll get better performance from your brakes with Berkey Bile 2 + 2 Clean Brake. Fast-acting Clean Brake safely removes brake fluid, grease, oil, and other contaminants from your brake linings and drums. It stops disc brake squeal and dissolves instantly without leaving residue. Use Clean Brake without disassembling the brake unit. Berkey Bile 2 + 2 Clean Brake, one of the many fine products from the Berkey Bile Oil Company of Somerset, where 2 + 2 equals performance for you.
Come now to Furs by Anthony. Be part of our best fur season ever. This year we have the finest in quality, value, selection of fur garments in our 13-year history. Magnificent Russian sable, beautiful Russian lynx. Don't miss this opportunity to wrap yourself in the warmth, luxury, and style of a fur from Anthony, downtown Johnstown. Picture an Oriental rug in your living, dining, or bedroom. Choose from a large selection, various styles, colors, and sizes at Caspian Oriental's Anthony's Building, downtown Johnstown.
Okay, let's check out the AccuWeather forecast. Overnight tonight, mainly clear skies and quite cold temperatures. Maybe a few high clouds in here after midnight. Johnstown's low 22 degrees, some upper teens in the outlying areas. Then tomorrow, a rather cloudy day on the whole with some rain arriving, most likely during the afternoon hours, and not very warm as well. High temperature in Johnstown, only 40 degrees. For tomorrow night, the clouds continue to linger across the area. More rain off and on, perhaps mixed with some wet snowflakes, especially in the higher elevations, as temperatures will be marginal. We'll look for a low in Johnstown tomorrow night, 35. And through the next 3-day period, which includes the weekend, no real improvement, at least not in temperatures. Saturday, perhaps some lingering rain early in the morning. That will give way to a mixture of clouds and sunshine, brisk and rather cool conditions. High temperature 45 degrees, but 45 seems almost like a heat wave when we look at Sunday and Monday. Both those days, a mixture of clouds and sunshine, chance of a flurry either day. And we'll look for a high on Sunday around 40, and Monday's high only 36 degrees. So no warm weather in sight. Gary?
Well, you got a pretty interesting story there at the top. Not a total surprise, but some details.
There is warm weather in sight for Darryl Strawberry and good news in sight for a lot of Pirate fans. Darryl Strawberry is taking his act to the West Coast, leaving the National League East Division and the New York Mets behind. And you can bet the Pirates are smiling about it. The outfielder has signed a 5-year contract with the LA Dodgers worth $20.3 million, and it's a dream come true for the 28-year-old California native. He played his high school ball at LA's Crenshaw High School. In 8 seasons with the Mets, he hit .265 with 252 home runs. This season, he batted .277 with 37 homers and 108 runs batted in. For the second time in as many days, the NCAA has handed down a probation to a men's basketball program. The University of Missouri has been slapped with a 2-year probation, 2 years of recruiting restrictions, and a ban from postseason play in 1991. The NCAA ruled the Tigers were guilty of major rules violations between 1985 and 1989 when it came to recruiting, benefits for athletes, and academic irregularities. Yesterday, Illinois received a 3-year probation. Johnstown Chiefs head coach Steve Carlson says defenseman Steve Huff has been released to make room on the roster for Perry Florio. He joined the team yesterday. The Chiefs play Erie tomorrow night at the War Memorial. The Pittsburgh Penguins take on St. Louis tonight at the Civic Arena. The Blues lead the Norris Division, winning 8 of their last 10 games. The Pens are coming off Tuesday's win over Smythe Division leader Calgary. Tom Barrasso will start in goal for Pittsburgh. Seton Hill College volleyball team is heading for Hawaii next week and the NAIA National Championships. The Greensburg School, coached by Rick Hall, is 34-3 and is ranked #1 in the country in hitting percentage and service ace average. The team won the district championships last week. North Star graduate Misty Trevorrow is a member of the Seton Hill team. And in tonight's Outdoor Journal, Scott Hartnett introduces us to a retired Penn State professor who's considered to be the greatest fly tying and fishing instructor in the country. Some of his students included Presidents Eisenhower and Carter.
Then you take and separate it. Now, I've tied so many flies that I can get almost the same number on every tie just by the feel.
George Harvey is a national treasure. He's been a trout fisherman for over 3/4 of a century, and today he's considered the dean of fly fishing in America. He's well known for teaching the first college-level angling course at Penn State back in the 1930s, and over the years he's introduced over 35,000 people to the joys of his sport.
I've enjoyed teaching people all my life, but if I can find something new, some little new technique that's going to make their fly tying more enjoyable, and if I can find new ways of tying a fly that will help them to catch more fish, then this is all that I ask out of it.
George Harvey has been on the cutting edge of fly fishing for decades. He's developed many popular fly tying and fishing techniques, and one of his latest ideas to gain widespread popularity is the use of fluorescent materials for wings on small dry flies.
The purpose of the wings actually was so I could see them myself. It helped me to see, particularly in the smaller flies. When people get old, it's surprising how many of them have trouble seeing a fly. And this just helps the person because they stand out there so bright.
Harvey says that these flies are easier for older eyes to see, and the fish don't seem to mind a bit. He says that one of his greatest joys is to help others get more enjoyment out of their sport.
I don't profess to be any great expert or anything else because I'm always learning. When I get to the point where I can't learn something new, then I'll give up the sport. But I don't think I'll ever have to give up because I've got an awful lot to learn.
For the Outdoor Journal, I'm Scott Hartnett, News Center 6.
And you can learn from him up at Seven Springs on November 17th and 18th.
All right. We'll be back.
For 1991, Pontiac is on a roll with a price rollback on new Grand Ams and Sunbirds. Last year, 2 of Pontiac's hottest selling cars. This year, even more excitement for less money. Pontiac's price rollback with reduced sticker prices plus cash back. Qualified first-time buyers can get a brand new 91 Grand Am Coupe for just $92.79 or buy a brand new 91 Sunbird Coupe for just $76.39. See your Keystone Country Pontiac dealers now.
Oh, what's all this commotion? New Maytag washers and dryers and lots of great deals? Maytag's new deal. Oh, now I see. Ooh, washers for $4.19, dryers for $3.59, dishwashers for $3.99, and the refrigerator with the year 2000 guarantee. Huh, you won't want to miss this. Maytag's got something for everyone. Well, almost everyone.
Save on Maytag now at Daniel Schaefer's Hooversville and I.J. Bear Appliance, Carrolltown.
At Riverside, you get maximum savings every day, plus Riverside rollbacks, those extra special manufacturer discounts to save you even more. This week, get extra savings on Fleischmann's margarine, regular, light, or unsalted. The 1-pound package of handy quarters, just 89 cents with in-ad coupon. And Charmin bath tissue in white, yellow, or blue. The 4-roll pack, only 95 cents with in-ad coupon. For Riverside rollbacks, as well as maximum savings every day, shop Riverside.
In November, get this Master Mechanic utility knife and scraper set. It's just $2.29 while supplies last at participating True Value hardware stores.
Last year, 2 students at Westmont Hilltop High School committed suicide. The tragedy shocked parents, teachers, and fellow students.
Wendy Dockenbaugh tells us more and more kids are troubled by their home or school life. Teachers are learning to see the signs and get the child help before it's too late.
So I think on a daily basis we deal with some children who have some rather severe problems.
For the most part, Kushner blames broken families for those problems. Not the parents, but the situation.
I don't remember before when we had so many children who were going home to no one there, even at senior high age. They're getting their own dinner. They get themselves up in the morning.
Wisconsin psychotherapist Doug Meskey told teachers today kids have several emotional needs. When those needs are not met, kids get angry and depressed, and sometimes turn to drugs, alcohol, or suicide. Nearly half of America's families now are single-parent homes, and an extremely high percentage of kids, elementary school through high school, are emotionally troubled.
Without trying to put a real heavy guilt wrap on parents, the fact of the matter is that as moms and dads, we've taken on a tremendous responsibility. And if we don't address that and do certain things, our kids are going to pay the consequences.
Troubled kids turn into troubled adults. Now teachers are becoming more active in trying to fill emotional gaps parents may miss. Wendy Dockenbaugh, News Center 6, Westmont.
And the Wall Street Dow Jones Industrial Average closed up almost 3 points.
The race is on to your local Oldsmobile dealer. At last week's Oldsmobile 400, the Grand Olds gang received a special shipment of 108 1991 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supremes, all brand new, yet discounted as special event cars. After displaying these Cutlasses, local Olds dealers drove them to their showrooms, where they're now for sale at special event prices. Plus, get up to an additional $2,100 factory cash back on these well-equipped Cutlass Supremes. Inventory is limited, so the race is on to your local Grand Olds gang dealer.
How do you make an El Grande burro special? If we made it any bigger, the waitress couldn't carry it. If we stuffed it with any more beef or chicken, it would explode. So we added our Mexican pizza appetizer and fried ice cream. And there you have an El Grande burro special with one small touch.
Chi-Chi's a celebration of food.
The weekend, perfect for just loafing around with a loaf of Pillsbury quick bread. That homemade taste is just right for your weekend breakfast, brunch, or just relaxing around the house. So this weekend, do a little loafing. 'Cause nothing says lovin' like Pillsbury quick bread.
One at a time, please. Need new housewares? Come to Hills Housewares.